Hollow Knight is an extremely popular action-adventure game, known for its beautiful animation, incredible world-building, and epic music. It's no wonder why it's one of the most frequently requested topics that I receive for new videos. In this video, I'm going to share one of the biggest lessons that you can learn just by listening to the game's popular cue, Hornet. Before we go any further, I do want to take a quick moment to thank my wonderful patrons for making these videos possible, with a special shout out to my longtime patron Abdal, who recommended this piece in the first place. If you'd like to show your support of this channel, or if you have a piece that you'd like to see me analyze, please consider signing up to be a patron using the links below. So with that, let's get started. So the biggest lesson you can learn by listening to this cue is how you can take a strategic approach to how you use the tone colors of your instruments. Christopher Larkin, the composer for Hollow Knight, uses the tone colors and registers of the strings and piano masterfully to create a strategic and effective soundscape for the theme. Larkin uses his tone colors and registers in very specific ways. The bulk of the piece focuses around middle register strings and the piano being used for accompaniment, and solo stringed instruments and piano being used for the melodic material. There are a few exceptions to this pattern, but for the most part, this does remain constant. Now, sticking to a few primary tone colors and registers like this allows the composer to establish a timbral home, or a core identity that is responsible for the majority of the emotion and feel of the music. Then, once this core identity is established, the composer can earmark other tone colors and registers for specific uses. And this is exactly what happens in Hornet. Throughout the music, both the low register strings and upper register strings are used in very specific and strategic ways. In particular, the low register strings are used whenever the music needs extra weight or power added to the sound, and they're only used so long as they serve this purpose. The moment that the music shifts its color and no longer needs to sound quite so heavy, the low register gets dropped. The upper register strings are used in a very similar way. Anytime increased urgency or tension is needed in the sound, the upper strings will make an appearance, but they get dropped the moment the music no longer needs that tension. Let's listen to the cue real quick and keep an open ear to how this strategy is used. I'll have notes on the screen to help you notice examples of this approach each time it is used. incredible. Now, using these registers and tone colors in such specific situations ensures that the impact felt by the listener doesn't get diluted. The emotional impact of these sounds are strengthened by the fact that they are only used to create these emotions and not for any other reason. This same consistency can help you with your own music. As you are planning out a new piece of music, think of which instruments and registers you will have available to you. Then consider which ones you think will be the most important and should be used throughout the piece to help establish the core emotional and timbral identity of the music. Then consider how that core emotion will shift and grow throughout the piece, and how your remaining options can be used both strategically and specifically to achieve these effects. By taking the time to think these things through, you help ensure that your instruments are used strategically and effectively, something that is much harder to accomplish if you aren't being deliberate with your decisions. And with that, we have reached the end of another video. If you are interested in what other lessons I learned from this cue, I have 13 pages worth of notes that I took, as well as an hour-long video on Patreon. I want to thank my wonderful patrons once again for their support of this channel and for making videos like this one possible. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as well as share it with anyone else you think might find it helpful. So until next time, keep studying, keep working hard, and keep writing new music.